back. It's Friday. I thought we would do a little Friday flippity flip, make some changes to my planner setup for next week, and just sort of chit chat. Welcome if you are new here. I'm Krista David. On this channel, I talk about all the stationery things: planners, fountain pens, stickers, more stickers, more stickers, more stickers. So if that's your jammy jam, get in here. I would love it for you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing, okay? But first, I am middle-aged, so we're going to put on our readers, okay? All right, so I think I shared in my last video that I was going to try out planning in a new, not new system, but leverage the different formats that I set up for myself this year. Sorry, my nails look raggedy, y'all. I had them painted like a nice deep blue. You can still see remnants of it, but I started rummaging through my stationery looking for some inserts that I still cannot find, and it got smudged. And you know how like when you smudge your nail and then you're like, oh, let me just put another coat on it, and then let me put another coat on it, and then it becomes this thick gooey mess? Yeah, so I took it off. I will repolish my nails sometime this week. But anyway, you're here for the stationery. So I was going to hop from my rings, which I've been in for like a year and a half, and use one of the formats or two of the formats that I set up for myself this year. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. So we're just going to flip through a little bit because some of this stuff I can't show you, but you know. So the two main systems were my Traveler's Notebook Standard Size, and this is an undated insert, and it's a weekly. And I was also using, because I had these inserts, Plotter weekly and monthly. And so for the past 2 weeks, and I'll just show you, I think this one is fine. And my plan was to use the Plotter Narrow. Actually, oh my God, guys, this is not a Plotter Narrow. This is a MeePlus Slim Pad, or MeePlus Narrow. Oh my goodness, my bad. Anyway, this is a MeePlus Narrow. And this, which we'll talk about later, is a plotter, but whatever. So I was going to use this one as personal, and then use this one, let me go back to that week, as work. And I did that for this week, and I also did it for this week, this current week, for both, right? And then I realized, like, this is why I had my personal and work stuff together to begin with, because I don't want to be hopping and bopping. It just, yeah, I didn't like it. So this was a week where I was mostly not working because I have family in town. So it was a lot of personal things happening. So this is pretty blank. But then I got back into my work stuff, and of course, you know, it's not pretty planning. It's just me writing lots of lists. And then this started to give me anxiety because it just looks so messy. And yes, I'm like writing the to-do list, putting over here on the days when I do it. And then I would put my meetings here. I made a section for reviewing my thoughts about the week, and then a section for next week. And that kind of works, but it just felt like it was too much space and too many things were getting mushed in together. So I am going to take a step back from the standard TN, which is fine, right? I'm going to take a step back. So the wonderful thing about this is that all I have to do is just pop this out and move on about my life. Put it right back. It's undated. If I want to hop in here again, which I feel like this kind of stuff works. I think I would have to choose either this or this, but doing both just is not good. So I was doing this, and then in addition to this, I was using this, which I'm gonna keep in here because it's still useful. I was just using another insert that was blank, and I was just using it for notes. Now some of this stuff I can't show you, but I can show you this page because I covered up this part. But this is just like, I would be in here for my weekly, right? Something comes up, then I'm like, oh, I need to write some notes about something. So then I would just flip here and start writing notes about various things. And that actually worked really well. So I think if I were to use this by itself and not use the rings, this system of having a weekly and then having a book where I can just write notes by the day, that can work. But I just love my ring so much. I just love being able to move papers around. So, but I'm gonna put this one back in my drawer. And when I feel like I think this would also work well, and I'm gonna try it out when I start traveling, when I'm like, okay, I have to go to New York a couple times this summer. I have to go to Charleston. I have to go probably back to LA. I mean, it's just a lot of traveling. But if I'm just taking one thing, having my diary, which is this last insert here, having a planner and having a notebook, I would take this if I was just traveling. I wouldn't even bother with rings because I would be, yeah, I wouldn't even need to be bothered with that. I could just take this. So I think this works well, or would work well if I'm traveling. And I need to have, and I still, you know, you're traveling sometimes, you still want to have like a planner. You still want to jot down what you did for the day, what you got to do, whatever. So I think I'm going to try this out next month when I have to go to New York for client work and Stationery Fest. It's happening all the same week. So we're going to retire this little mama, but she's cute though. She's cute. I'm going to keep the notes in here because it's just a notebook. And how am I going to put it in here? Actually, I don't need this. I think I can just pop this right here in the middle one. And keeping a notebook in here just because if I am like in my diary, which is this, right? This is just my diary. And something comes up that I want to write down, then I can just go to this blank notebook and write down. This first notebook is just my home, all my home and garden stuff. So, and then these are just stickers. So I think that's what is happening here. We're going to just take out one insert, and now we're left with the home and garden insert. We're left with a folder with some stickers, a notes, just like brain dump, notes, whatever, blank insert. Some more stickers are over here. And then my diary. And I think that's where we're going to leave this for the coming week. And I feel good about that. Oh, I like that on the bottom. Alright. So that's that. And then now, so I'll retire this. So then this is what comes into play for me. And I'm drinking some tea, by the way. Before I forget, I have a Inky video coming up next, so hit that notification button. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing. So this is what I was using just for personal stuff. So like this week, you know, this was last week. And I was just using my Uniball Jetstream. And that's fine. And then this was this week. So what I'm going to do for next week, because this will be the only thing that I'm using, what I'm going to do is keep this going. Still going to use it the way that I have been using it, which is this little box here. I don't know if you can see that, but this, I'll put my meetings here. I plan to put any of the to-dos that I have to do, whether it's, I'll put the to-dos for work over here. Boop, 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 boop. And then personal to-dos over here. So I still get the benefit of, instead of having two when using work and personal, I'm just going to just use work here, personal here. Now, the thing that I like about this is that you do have a whole page to write all your to-dos and stuff. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to better leverage my inbox. So here's what I'm going to do. Not really my inbox, but let me just show you. So originally I set up the inbox to just be a place where I would have to jot down notes. Kind of like why I had this notes book in here, because when I'm looking at my planner for the week, I'm just looking at what I need to do and that kind of thing. But if I have thoughts about it, I need a place to write the notes down. So I am going to better leverage this inbox notes section for that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take out some of this paper because these rings are very tiny. I think they're 11 millimeter. So I'm taking out some. So I'll still have some papers in here. Also, when my godchildren were in town, Lucas and Talia, we were playing this game. Their mom had bought them a Chick-fil-A kids meal, and Chick-fil-A has this cute little game. We played so many rounds of this game. It is really a cute game. So then I left them alone, and then they started playing themselves and keeping score. And isn't that adorable? So I think it was Tali who was doing this. Yes, Talia. So I'll leave that in there. This is just my stickers. These are just lists. So here's where I'm really excited. And I just saw this on Job's Journal, one of his videos, where he uses a plotter Narrow too, I believe, for work. Sorry, phone's ringing, even though it's somebody in my favorites, so they can get to me even when my phone is on Do Not Disturb. But on Job's Journal, what he does, or what I saw him do, and I was like, oh man, I'm not even fully leveraging this, is taking these note inserts where you have like the to-do plotter inserts and using those as the place where I put my entire list for the week. And that way I can look at what I need to do by project, and then when I'm in my week, because I was writing the to-dos on this side and then putting them here as they were getting done. But what I'm going to do instead is put the to-dos back here, and that's why I pulled out my Filofax divider thing, so I can easily get to the to-dos. The to-dos will be back here. Ignore that South of France thing. I can't find my to-do inserts. They're somewhere in here. I've looked in all of the containers where they were supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure that I stuffed them somewhere that they should not be. Like, I just feel like I put them somewhere, and I'm always hiding things from myself. But anyway, my plan is that this will be like my weekly to-do, and I'll be able to put everything here. And then with this insert, with this divider, I'll be able to have it right on my weekly. And then that way I can get to my weekly very easily. I can see work stuff, personal stuff, and then my running to-do list, I can just look at it, and I'll probably do it by project. So I'll have like, I'll probably brainstorm all the to-do lists and then put them by project. So I'll put a header here, and then I'll put the subtask here, header here, subtask here, and then I may have one for work, one for personal, or one for home, or whatever the case may be. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the coming week. I have to find my inserts, so I probably will, you'll see it in the next time I do one of these flips. But I think that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just have this and let this be everything I need it to be. So shout out to Job for the inspo with the task list. Now my dog won't let me be brave. So that is it for, I mean, the Friday flip is, I'm going to make it very, very quick this week because, oh, I'm not done. My bad, I'm not done. So, this is my work notebook. This is a plotter. This is a plotter A5. I got it pre-loved from the Buy Sell Trade group on Facebook. I'm so sorry about my dog. Like, I don't know what's happening. Is he done? I think it's done. So, and this is mainly my, this mainly functions as a notebook and solely as a notebook. Like, it's not a planner. I'm not tracking any dates in here. I don't have a calendar in here. It's literally just a place for me to brainstorm about work and keep track of all the things that I need to do for work, right? I can't show you these notes because these are client notes and I'm pretty sure they have names and things on them. And then I have some different various brainstorming inserts. These are all by Laconic. So Laconic has a series of different brainstorming sheets, spreadsheet, I think, style notebook sheet. So I keep a couple of these in here. This a Gantt chart. And, oh, this is so good, actually. Girl, why are we not using this? And then my favorite, this little blue quadrant one. So I am going to also bring this back into play. I didn't use it last week. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I didn't use it last week because I couldn't find my inserts. So I was just using this and the notebook that was in here and calling it a day. And that was fine. But this is why I bought this, so that this can be a perpetual notebook for work. So I'm just going to fill this up with some more sheets and make sure I can use these for the week. Oh man, I did not take them out nicely, but it's okay. I think when you're tearing these sheets out, you should really do them one by one because the paper is so thin. And you don't want it to be all crusty dusty. And so I'm just going to put some sheets in here. And then we have enough for the work week. And hopefully I'll be able to find my other inserts. So I want to put that in there, and then I wanted to put another blue. 2 or 3 blues in there. I'll just take 2 more. And I think that's what I'm going to go into next week with. So you're going to have to come back to see how I got on with this. And I don't think I can do a quick flip. This is just some vellum. These are these little envelopes, project dividers that I just put some stickers on. This is just something I laminated from years ago. It's my art. Vellum, monthly reset. I probably should do one of these for June. I got this from planbyjaysla.com. It was a freebie, I believe. Some goal breakdowns. I've had this in here forever. And then my schedule. I love this thing. Some stickers. I got all of these images from Unsplash. And I just, now I don't want to go into this because this is like client stuff. And then I have a section for, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. My studio. So that's what I have here. Another folder. And then another folder here. I don't even know why this is here. This is just pretty. And then a pen test. Isn't it nice? Yeah, it's nice. This is really good paper. And then this, which I love. Okay, so that is what I am going to go into this week with. I don't think this can fit in here. Oh, it can. Oh my, it can fit in here. I have no idea. I mean, it's pretty tight. It's not going to be fun to get in and out. That's for sure. That's why I don't have it in there. So it fits, but who wants to deal with that? No one. And my plotter doesn't have a band because I didn't buy one. It didn't come with one. And the one that I want has been perpetually out of stock. I haven't checked in months, but I stopped checking because it was just out of stock. I love it. So this is what I'm going to go into next week with: a notebook and a planner for personal and work. And we finally arrived. Plotter meets MeePlus. Okay, that is it, friend. That is the Friday flip. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And hopefully I can find my narrow inserts. I know I will find them before Monday. And then I am going to not hide them from myself again. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you're planning in. Do you do personal and work together? Do you do them separately? I would love to know. And yeah, have you had any changes recently? I have so much ink everywhere because I've been swatching. So let me know in the comments, and I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for a little currently inked situation. Until then, I will catch you in the next one, friend. Bye!